Hello, everyone. Hi, and welcome to my live. This is Lily Kolosova. Welcome, everyone. I am back today for a little more confessions, but a little bit more detailed this time. So, welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Today is just simple water, pure. I'm going to talk about kind of different sides of spirituality and what we are seeing unfolding today in spiritual communities. Because those of you that known me for a while, they all know, everyone knows that I had always been in one way or another part of the spiritual community. And I had always been sort of sharing my own experience and my own wisdom that I gain going through the master quest. I'm here at this lifetime. I'm here from the start when in 2014 I went public with my original graph. When I went public and stated that I'm a human consciousness investigator. And I'm here and I put a graph out, right? And so that's what I am. I am a human consciousness investigator. And so today, there is no difference. There is no different. I am still that. I am still human consciousness investigator. And when my own experience took me, when my own individual master quest took me on a journey, I answered the call and I went on the journey so I can attain mastery in this lifetime. And so this is why I'm here sharing with everyone on YouTube, like what I've done for this last almost 10 years. It's been 9 years since I've been in public. But me being an investigator does not stop at human consciousness investigations. About 20 years ago, good 20 years ago, I went through an experience that I will never forget. I went through an experience when I realized that United States of America have been infiltrated from within. That was 20 years ago. That was the day that I decided that I was the investigative journalist as well. That was 20 years ago. It took me 20 years to study my enemy. So I'm here again to remind the group that thought that they can take me out. But all they did is collected evidence of their own crimes. That's all it happened with this group. So that's what I'm exposing. There's a lot had happened since I started and announced the filming of Keystone, a documentary series that has to do with the betrayal of the United States Constitution. That's where it lies. That's what I have uncovered the abuse of United States Constitution. And so this is my journey now to what I went through and the experience I went through. And what I've been through in almost last couple of years, what has been 3 years actually, has been since I've been assaulted, kidnapped, tortured for 13 months, and all on record. But none of this group could understand that I've intended to somehow get all of their crimes on record. So, who am I talking about? The Eastern Star. A little freaking fraternity. Fraternity, or whatever, a little club or religious group. And I studied this group for over 20 years. So, do you think that I will not find a way, that I would not find a way to have them record their own crimes? Did I plan that? No. I prayed for 20 years and I studied. And through experience, I gained wisdom. And that's why the documentary series is an expose. It's all on record. Did I ask them to do that to me? Did I ask them to make me a political prisoner? Did I ask them to torture me and go on record in transcripts, in court transcripts, judge going on record committing treason, crimes, all on record? I didn't ask them. I didn't go and beg them to put that on record. They all did. So who set up who, bitches? Welcome to Exposed. Here's to that purification. Here it goes. All you are is dust in the wind. Dust in the wind. All you are is dust in the wind. So, welcome, Laba. Thank you so much. What is it? Well, you guys, this is basically this group. Let me just tell you, this group is where when you follow your calling as a chosen, as those that all of us, those of us that are here on this master quest, when we are chosen to attain that wisdom, we go through the death and rebirth in order to, it is like transmutation, transformation that individual has to go through. What is happening with the other side, with the spirit of the Antichrist, and this is what I said, I went undercover to investigate this group. I went undercover to investigate this group, and this is why I gained the wisdom through experience. And I've been saying that Why? Because I needed to learn how the control operates in order to see what had happened. How did the infiltration happen? And this is, but it's all on individual level. So you have to work through yourself. And then your experience on the external, they demonstrate to you what it is that is within your, as a warrior, like I used to say, as a warrior, as that whoever's on that master quest, you see who you face, and you have to face like Christ faced. You have to face the demons. It's not like, for those of us that are true, and those of us that understand, truly understand or comprehend, or have the intellectual capacity to understand the verses, like being in it but not of it, when Christ was talking about the reality that you in it but you not of it. And 5-6 years ago, I talked about cosmogenetics. I talked about the original DNA. Hello, Hyperboreans. I've talked about the Hyperborean grid 6 years ago, 5 years ago. The living grid, we talked about all of this. It was all to prepare us for this time, space dusting time. And in my graph from 2016, hi, daughters. Good to see you here, darling. And in 2016, I put another graph, and it says in 2023 to 2024, what we're going to see is that space dusting process manifesting. And so, what do you think this group, the Order of Eastern Star, there is a history of them in the description. Take a look, everyone. Take a look. Read it, just that, so you understand where the occult is crosses with the government. That's the crossing point. This is the group. They call themselves Christians, but this is the group that exercises their right to liberate children's sexuality. This is their big secret. This group is based, or their foundation is all on keeping secrets. Their oath is to keep that dark secret. And when that dark secret is not kept, just like with Masons, there is 3 different deaths that they would experience. It's a death cult. That's what it is. It's a death cult. So through that access, through my handler wannabe provided me with an access. He's a Mason. He's a widower too. And he's done it several times. Cosmogenetic, bitches. None of your black magic can touch this. Nope, I can't touch this. Hyperborean DNA. I do stand in eternity. I have given these people several warnings. And I had, hi, Natasha. Again, they think, like last time, you guys, I had given them, so good to see you, Natasha, here. So I am talking, exposing them, Natasha. It's about time. This silence did me so good. I've gained so much wisdom. Oh my God, glorious times. Because the bigger picture, the whole thing has come together so beautifully right now. It's amazing. Just like everything that I've experienced. So in order for me to have them demonstrate their own incapacity. The government has fallen. If you haven't figured that out, NSA agents, if you haven't figured that out yet, oh, I'm sorry. You must have been out of this religious group that believes in liberating children's sexuality. So perhaps most of the NSA agents had their sexuality liberated when they were children. And the real science is actually that is damages the capacity for brain to develop properly. And that's science, darlings. You putting a diaper on your face, darlings, and putting word science on is not a science. But demonstrating and proving in court, in military court, that this belief structure that they have, and this is the beauty of it, they're all on record. They're all on record. The beauty of it, what I am so grateful to the eternity for keeping me in that river of eternity throughout all of it. And all I had to do is trust it and come out with all of that I came out. Police department, city government, state government, DOJ, FBI, with all of that and all of their crimes bundled all together with me like bunch of gifts. The record is the crimes, is their own crimes, is the admissions of their own crimes. And when I look at it, I dance. I dance and dance and dance. I had no idea how incredible it is to trust that when you're put in the situation, but without trusting eternity within you, I wouldn't be here. There's so many hits ordered on me right now. It's crazy. I had even people that, how my enemies, I kept my enemies really close. My enemies would come to my house and they would immediately announce that they're coming here with their trackers and all of that stuff and trying to stick their to the walls, trying to, get into my phone and all of that stuff. But they're trying to hear me. Ooh. That's this group. They keep sending so many of their agents. But the thing is, I known you bitches for over 20 years. Do you think I'm not ready for you? Do you think my ancestors are not ready? That's why it's a military case. Because DOJ had decided to put their crimes on record, accessible to moi. So when you do that, see, it goes both ways. This is what they don't understand because when they are infiltrating your energy, but you don't understand. And this is what I tell people: when you truly know the self, You know you stand in eternity, and so you can't be afraid of those that copy me. They literally, Guy MTV literally went after my intellectual property. That's what they wanted. They want to scrape it off of me. You can, because it's within me. It's in me. Without you being actually me, you ain't gonna have it. Boo boo kitties. You ain't gonna have it. None of it. You have no access because I don't have any contracts with you. No soul contracts with any of them. I went undercover without doing the oath. I just got enough, just close enough to be a living witness and gain the access to all the records. And if a judge goes on record in my court hearing transcripts with treason, what do you think? Does military gonna forget that there is a law that if you're aware of treason, you gotta report it to a judge? I did. And you know what judge did? Threw me in jail for a week. All in transcripts, all on record. What are they gonna do? Pull Hillary Clinton? They're gonna burn the jail down. Are they gonna burn the kidnapping note? Are they gonna burn the fingerprint that the kidnapping note is written on? They can try to burn it, but it's also all electronic. Yeah. It's not 1952 anymore. So that records that, clowns in America like to keep secrets, like, right? So once the dark secrets are uncovered, which is at the base of this religion. So, what do you think, NSA agents, National Security Agency? How you doing there? I know you're listening, boo boo kitties. I know you do. You better. You better. So, what do you think with their commander in chief taking a nap still, 3 years later? Still napping. Let's see. We, the Americans, do know that you have the technology to find anybody on the planet. When Snowden told Americans and the world about your secrets, you were capable to find him. The only individual that could hide him was Putin. Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin was only capable, big bad guy, was capable to save Snowden from NSA. Let me think. In your nation, every year, 850,000 children disappear. I'm going to let you do the math. Let's see how your intellectual capacity is for math. How many children it is a day? Do the math. You don't have a problem inside of your country? Oh, you're gonna wait till your commander in chief wakes up from his nap? Is that what's gonna be happening? Are we Americans are supposed to believe that? Are we supposed to go with the flow of commander in chief taking a nap still 3 years later? That's over 1 million children while your commander in chief was taking a nap. How is your DOJ doing these days? Oh, wait, wait, wait. They are gonna solve the problem. They're gonna solve the problem. Pedo-friendly Congress. Ooh, I'm sorry, not a pedo-friendly Congress. Gonna solve the problem. Well, their commander in chief, we're in an NSA commander in chief, we're our military commander in chief sleeping and taking a nap for 3 years. Boo boo kitties, yeah, that's what I call them. Natasha, the level, the intellectual level, the capacity for intellect, it's just not there at all. There's like no levels at all. Elevator don't go to the top floor at all. Boo boo kitties. Elevator don't go to top floor. It's sad because it is stems and like I said, it's science. Go look it up. When children are abused, their brains does not develop properly. It's too much trauma, too much damage. So, what do you think DOJ is doing? Their solution. Meantime, while Commander in Chief was taking a nap, not a pedo friendly Congress put the most pedo friendly judge in America into Supreme Court. Hmm. What a solution. Whose solution it is for? For whom it is the solution? Opa, let me see if they have enough intellectual capacity to figure that math out. Perhaps our NSA need to wake up their commander in chief from a nap and ask their commander in chief and ask their commander in chief to call his friend in Ukraine, President President Volodymyr Poroshenko. And perhaps Volodymyr Poroshenko can call his best friend, Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin. And so Poroshenko can ask Putin if he can go and ask Snowden how to work that technology. So you can actually go ahead and find every predator in America, just like you found him. How about you ask Snowden how to work it, since you're probably still trying to figure that out? How about you ask him how to work that so you can do your job, what American people are paying you for, and go after predators within your country? That would be an American. That's what American people paying you for. Foreign and fucking domestic. So, but oh no, there is no pedal club in military. Really? Are you sure about that? I'm not so sure about it. I am not so sure about it. You're all, once your dark secrets are out, the whole house of cards falls to the ground. Nothing can uphold those dark secrets. Nothing. And I got you all on record doing it. And you had no idea that I was just a bait. I was just a bait, bitches. I was just a bait. I was just a bait. And you took the bait. And you exposed yourself. You exposed yourself. And now you think you're stalling me from releasing, from even making a documentary series, from doing anything, with scraping me of every dollar, everything I had, trying to set me up here. It's not gonna, it's just like, it's so stupid that the intellect is just not there. They think they can still hold it up. It's science, bitches. It's science. All right, you're all exposed. So, the point of meeting for me, in order for me to get information on how this group operates, so this is where also the justice system plays a huge role, because it is controlled by this subgroup, because it's both males and females, and this is where the level of justice system is operating. So this is the level that I needed to investigate. How are you going to be an investigative journalist and not go undercover? You freaking kidding me? How stupid do you have to be to think that that's not going to be happening? Natasha, there's trafficking corridor in California is pretty, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. Yeah, just us system. So yes, only the members. So this is why, dear America, you have a justice in your Supreme Court that has a record, which is, it's not my words. That's the thing. At that very hearing, they tell on each other. It's just like I predicted years ago. They're all gonna expose themselves. It's just, for me, it's entertaining right now. I'm just watching all this happening. It's entertaining, but at the same time, I'm sorry, if those, uh, you took an oath to a constitution. I don't care about your secret oath. The secret's out. And it's just not gonna happen. But the thing is, the military has to do the cleanup themselves first. They got to clean up their own house full of pedos, experiments on children, those kind of experiments, Natasha, that you talking about. I've known about that 15 years ago. What was happening in military, and that was all implemented in the military, but that's all. So they might have slowed me down, as some would say, because I started prepping for a documentary series in 2020. They might have slowed me down, but just as I was learning, all the teachers of all of mine classes that I took, how to make documentary films and all of that, everyone always said, if you if you start making a documentary and you have a plan and you think that's how it's going to go, the first thing I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you this now before we go any further, is that it will not be as you plan, and you will ultimately become part of it. And so that's why then all of this happened in a way to where I also was able to even to learn how to and the timing, I said divine timing was so perfect, right? Because I filmed the admissions of crimes. That's how it's all started. Hi, Danielle. So this group is the cross, so it's the layer of this. So there's a sort of, so this group, let me just tell you this one. Remember how I said it's the forbidden religion? Okay, so we all know that. I probably not going to use the other word that starts with S. It's just not my preference for the word for that, because it's a distortion. It is a very it's a mental illness. um it's like, well, you can probably compare to inbreeding. Like, you see that the little crooked when it inbreeding happens, so that the same DNA. So because this group, um they're the cursed bloodline. The cursed bloodline. So and they're teaching and doing everything to curse. And so their only teaching says that's why they keep it a secret, because they can only do it here as a secretive group. um but at the same time, because they keep their secrets of how they keep it going, but it's like a control. They only, because it is that, and it goes back to what I even call, it's about the DNA, that third strand DNA. It's the ones that it's their reality in a way, because they're here. It's like they're wearing human suit, but they don't have the spirit of the living force within them. It's a copy. It's a copy. It's a like quantum copy of a human life. And what the way they do it, I mean, it is so horrible. And this is why it's rooted in the blood rituals. So I would just say that, and I will tell you then, this is the root of the blood market, as I call it in the past. So this group is at the root of it. And that's what I kind of needed to see from inside out in order to understand. Just like I said, like I mean, look at any investigator. They will go and they will look at everything. I mean, I can read people in their presence. It's not just that I read their aura. I mean, I can see through them in a way, in a spiritual way. That's my gift. That's my ancestral gift. It's my cosmogenetics. It is what it is. I've accepted that gift. And that's why I'm still standing here. Because there's nothing can knock me down, because I am standing in eternity. Who can knock you down? Nobody. It says if you stand with God, who can be against you? If God is with you. So and this is ultimately why it is laughable to me that this group of half retarded, literally. And I am sorry if anybody offended that I call them that retarded is not a good word, but that there is zero intellectual capacity, only what they know. So you know how they say it's learn, knowledge is learn, wisdom is gain. So they learn and then they repeat, right? And with that, knowledge can get you far, but only wisdom will get you through the gates. Only wisdom. And in order to gain that wisdom, this is why I say it is your individual path that will get you there. It's you, for you, on behalf of your ancestors. It's you for all of them. So it is freaking important. It is the most important part of your incarnation, is to do this for your ancestors so your bloodline can have a future. Because this is what it is. I've talked about the war of bloodlines, because they wanted to submit humanity into being a slave race. On all levels. But see, the original cosmogenetics will not allow that, because a parasite cannot take over its host. It can kill it, but you can't kill eternity. You can't kill it. I can't touch this. So you can't kill it. So what they do, it only works in that physical realm. So this is why when I did that reading for warlocks, card reading, tarot card reading for warlocks and shapeshifters and witches, when I did the reading for them and I warned them to stop doing the rituals, because you're not killing anybody. You cannot kill eternity. You cannot eliminate it. You cannot do anything with it. You're powerless. And all you're doing is you mirroring that into your own physical reality. You begging for death and it will come. That's what they cut me off for. This is what I told them. If you stand in there, participated, if you stood there and participated in these rituals, asking for death, it will come to you. That's all that I am always been warning them about. This is why they shadow banned me so much. This is why they went after my life. They send in the one that is doing it slow and softly, poisons you little by little by little. He kept poisoning me and poisoning me, little by little, taking years. I gotta give him that. My handler wannabe, he was patient. He was gonna do everything in his capacity as a warlock to do his thing. Oh, Boo Boo Kitty, elevator don't go to top floor. Elevator don't go to top floor. When I told him 3 times, just spirit prompted me to say goodbye. This is what when I said goodbye, I said, may you experience everything you ever wished upon me. And I said it again. May you experience everything you ever wished upon me. Everything you have ever wished upon me. May you experience. Flipped out. Like there is no tomorrow. Flipped out. Flipped out. Don't touch this. Can't touch this. You can't compete where you don't compare. You don't compare. You can't compete with me. My gifts cannot be stolen from me. My spiritual gifts are given to me through my cosmogenetics. You cannot be me. You cannot steal from me. You cannot. Gaiam TV, you have no right to my intellectual property. You have no right. So, but we'll get to it eventually. I'm going to let this be short. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. The beauty of this expose is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. I've seen it. I've seen it now. I've seen it now. The whole picture is visible right now. For those of us that gone through our personal individual growth and we've gained the wisdom of what it is our own purpose. And this is why when those few years back, when I started doing the quantum hypnosis sessions, what I did is I put you through death process and all of that stuff in order for you to meet yourself. So that was my sessions to initiate that self within the body and to anchor that higher self, as many in the spiritual community call that, but it's the eternity to anchor your physical existence into that eternity, and so you can stand in the river and be it. And so that was the initiation. Yes, vibrational attraction. So basically, so yes, you vibrate yourself, and that's the only way it's you can. And this is kind of weird because I'm going to tell you a little story. When I was the vibrations, okay, the attraction in the different vibrations. I didn't understand this because when I experienced things when I was very young. Like when I was 8 years old, I had experience of seeing that frequency and how it operates in the realities, um, that it like operates. It's like the layers of different dimensions, right? So that's, some call it vibrational. So how you rise in that vibrational frequency is by through going in. And the way I was able to do it when I was 8 is I decided I had so much, I had enough of abuse. My little body was just having a little difficulty with abuse. I went through a lot of abuse. So um I wanted to and come out of my body and go home. So I laid under the tree, and it was a cherry tree in our backyard, and it was like bunch of trees, and they were all kind of intertwined. So I was laying, and all I could see is just cherry trees. and then the leaves were kind of starting to fall. So I would just lay there and I would just feel all this cherry trees, leaves from blooming cherry trees falling. And so, and as I started doing my thing, I'm not gonna talk about how I do my thing when I wanted to connect to my higher self. And yeah, I learned that since I was a very young, because I actually had some babushkas that taught me a lot of stuff from a very young age. So anyway, so I'm trying to like go, and so I do go. And so in this way, as I go, I'm learning. I go, and then I have to come back. And as I come back into the body, this is when I pick up all that knowledge. And then as I come back in the body, this is where I make sense to me. And then I go, oh, okay, this is why I had to go through all this. Oh, okay. So at 8 years old, I realized that I'm going to have to go, that abuse was my fuel for my growth, for my spiritual growth. This is why I incarnated. So I can, so then since 8 years old, I knew that that abuse was happening for me, not to me. And this is why my mind was able to stay pure. So I'm well prepared in my intellectual capacity, which includes the DNA, the cosmogenetics that I do have. They even stole my DNA. They even stole it. Bitches, you're not gonna be able to copy it. Okay. Okay. No. I am the programmer. How are you gonna copy? Hello. No, they're not dum-dums. Sacred families are coming together in those times. Yes, Coyote. We do, and this is the thing, only through individual path. And this is when I also saw that this time will happen, when collaboration of those that are here, that will gone through this, will elevate human consciousness. Because this is what later I understood, that what I learned when I, through that experience of coming out of the body and then coming back in, is what I learned is that what later, years later, I didn't have access to Tesla's stuff until in America. I would say maybe 20 years ago, 15 years ago, even, when I read Tesla's stuff about the God frequency. That's kind of like what I understood on that time, how it operates and what it truly meant for me. That experience demonstrated for me what it is to be in this world, but not of it. And this is why I say, then those people, and this is why nothing, this is why I call them half retarded or whatever, this Bethel bloodline, this Bethel. um, is because they don't get it. They don't understand that you can overcome eternity. And so for those of us that know and here on that individual path, we know that once we come into alignment with that and our own purpose, then we could see, because we have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. So ever since I was that, when things like when 20 years ago, when judge in court admitted to DOJ and the justice system committing crimes. In particularly, what was revealed to me 20 years ago is how justice system and DOJ are involved in crimes. That particular thing was crimes to defraud the United States committed by district attorney's office and justice system. He admitted to it. That was the day that I understood. That was the day that I understood. And when he was telling those words, those admissions, I understood that those are very important words. They stuck with me forever and ever. I, to this day, remember how his mouth was moving when he was talking, because that was the day that I realized that American government has been infiltrated from within. So it's been a long journey, but I'm very grateful that I was made this way to withstand all of this, and that I'm grateful that I had enough surrounding, because through this process there is just few people that stood by me. I lost everything in this world, which was beautiful, because now all it did, it elevated me. It was my fuel to grow. And I've achieved so much more than I've expected to do with this, with everything what I did, including the journals that I did. It's just, hi Gada. Oh my God. Hi, darling. Oh, that reminds me, I want to thank you, and I want to thank everyone who donated for my vino. I thank you guys so much. I really do. I really do. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate it. Thank you. So anyway, oh, okay. It's 1 hour. Gotta, I gotta get out of here, darling. So anyway, but I do want to thank you. There is a good few people. I had a lot of enemies come into my life, and I kept them close and close as just a few months ago. But right now, I am so free of any and all of those lower vibrational existence. They don't exist in my life. There's none of that. All of that is external to me. In my individual reality right now, it doesn't matter what I know, what is happening. It doesn't matter how long it's going to take United States of America military to wake up and remember their oath to United States Constitution. It doesn't matter how long it's going to take them. They're going to eventually have to, because they're going to be forced by their people to uphold to that oath. I have all the patience in the world. Just a couple of years ago, what I did send to my low budget torture judge. I did send her an article of somebody just a few years ago going through trial in Germany for committing crimes during the Nazi regime. A 92-year-old woman was found guilty. And then I asked them, How to go and Google it. How did the Nuremberg trial work out for those that claim that they were just doing their job? When I, in fact, went undercover as an independent investigative journalist into the justice system to experience, witness, be a living witness to it, and put it all on record. And on top of that, a cherry on that cake, have the criminals take their own records of their crimes, records that are admissible and undeniable in military court. Nuremberg Trials 2.0 is the only way. There is no other way. There is no other way. I said that 5 years ago. I've known that 20 years ago. So, if this group, the Eastern Star group, they went after me. They're the ones that they decided to do the setup. Oh, Lord. Oh, God. Talking about limited intelligence. Oh, Lord. Oh, all the agents pretended to be psychiatrists and all of that stuff. Oh, what a life is so beautiful when you truly follow your true north node of who you are, and there's so much joy in knowing that you living up to your own expectations. And this is what I am so grateful to each and every one of you here who's been here with me. I am so grateful to each and every one of you because I am who I am, and every experience, be it positive or negative, it made me who I am, and I love myself. I am love. That's just what it is. I've accepted that about myself. And this is why nothing can touch me. Nothing. So, anyway, I love you all so very much. Again, I went over an hour, but I just wanted to tell this group just, you know, you want to keep exposing yourself, go ahead. Go ahead. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. I'm just going to watch. It's very entertaining and I really enjoy it. I am not sure that the show must go on, you guys. There is going to be a lot more opening up. We're going on another side. And through all of this experience, and especially my 1000 days of silence, what I have figured out during that time is like, where do I roll my experiences down on the collective level to where it's going to be beneficial for our human collective consciousness to be elevated to that love frequency, to where we do ultimately connect on that, where we do acknowledge each other as unique, authentic individuals on their own individual path, a spirit in a human form. That what it is, all that it is, experiencing itself in human form. And that's who we are. And that's what I always been talking about, that self is what sustains you. And this is why when I did predictions and when I read them the cards, what they did cut off is that I wanted to help you. I want you to stop harming yourself and step on the healing path. Your foundation, you had no foundation. So you had no control over anybody's soul unless they are willingly surrender it. So you thought by torturing me, you're going to make me surrender my soul to you? It's laughable. It's laughable. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. Um, God will always stand. I'm going to leave it at that. I love you all so much. Until next time, whenever is the divine time for me to share anything. But my life is beautiful and I love it, every minute of it, every second of it, because I'm being me. I am freedom, freedom, freedom. Bye, everybody. Freedom, freedom.